Hey guys, Wolfie here and welcome back to the channel. As always, the usual disclaimer. Any opinion here is mine and mine alone. Now this is a St. Patrick's Day weekend visit to Micro Center in Chicago. That's the one I'm the closest to. So I was going over with what I saw, why I went there, and I went there twice. And then we're just gonna go for there. It's gonna be a bit of an on the fly type of video in sense of like my two trips to Micro Center over the past few days. There's a few things I needed to get. One of them is this. It's a wireless mouse for my laptop. I'll show you exactly which one it is in a little bit. I also had to go after a power AC cord because I lost the one that came with the power supply for the Buddy's build. So it's like, I knew I had to go grab one of those. But like I said, and I also have a laptop, so that's like I said, it was two visits, and one was Friday, the actual St. Patty's Day itself, and then the other one was earlier today. But when it came to today's visit, I had to wait till after my doctor's appointment is over with, and by the type of doctor, my eye doctor. Now, as I said, like a little while ago, this is one of the items I actually had to go grab. This is a 6-foot universal AC power cord. This is good for, if you see something like this type of like packaging and all that stuff, more likely than not, you can use this for any power supply. And like I said, I'm glad I grabbed this so that way it can help me really finish up the Buddy's build. Now, this is when I went into Micro Center earlier today, and this is a bit of a preview for a pretty darn good chunk of this video, and that is there is still a lot of Lee cases. It's going to be a variety of members of the old 11 dynamic family, alongside the Lee and Cool variants, whatever have you. Now, I will mention here that there are some NZXT cases that came back in stock. I will show you the exact ones you're more than likely to get, alongside a surprisingly decent amount of Corsair chassis. So we're going to be looking into that right now. As I said before, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. No Sandy, I think he's somewhere else in the apartment, more than likely my bedroom. There is a surprising amount of Corsair cases, but like I said, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of Lee cases. You see here that is the Lee and Cool 3 TGY with RGB. I'm gonna zoom in really quickly here. In this section right over here, and this is still the case, like not only from Friday, but also today, there is at least 16 H5 flow cases from NTXT. I know, I want to say this batch is in white, there may be some in black, but it really comes down to like, if I'm able to go again, like within the next like few days or a few weeks, you know, I could probably be a bit more sure. But I do know that at least some of these are in white. And again, there is your Lee 011 Dynamic, some of those. Let's see here, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. That is the Corsair one I was mentioning about. That is the 4000X RGB ATX and TGMT Black. That's the Lee Cool 2 Mesh. Just to give you guys a bit more of an example there. That's another one. And this is some of the, like I said, there's quite a few Lee cases at the Micro Center in Chicago. So for those who are saying, oh, everybody has Lee, I'm like, if that's really the case, then how come the some of the Lee cases are, you have quite a few at Micro Center in Chicago? Someone needs to explain that. Seriously, somebody needs to explain that. Now, in all fairness, though, you see here, there are some fractal cases. And I'm going to zoom in here because I do want to point out something really quickly. is that when I took this first picture on Friday, you see here there's one height Y60 at the bottom. Today there was a second one, and I want to say the one you see here is in red. So I don't know if there's any like in the other colors. It wouldn't surprise me either way though, in all fairness. Now again, like I said, this is NZXT. Now I had to double check to see which other ones are in stock, but I do know like the 5 family, like the 510 and H5, there's more of those than the rest put together. And there's still no H9 family here. So for those in Chicago that want an NZXT H9 Flow or H9 Elite, your best bet is online at this point. Because you will not find it in Micro Center anytime soon. And that is my personal opinion on the matter. Now, I'm going to go into here really quickly because you see it on a little bit on the right here. But I did focus here. So it looks like there's very few Asus family cases available at Micro Center because it's like Asus Tough Gaming. I really haven't seen much in the sense of the ROG Strix cases. However, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the stuff you see here are just for like display and they're hiding some stuff in the back. And if that is the case, I don't blame them because it's like you can only have room for so much on the floor. And sometimes you do need to keep certain things in the back just to, you know, make room and whatever else have you. Now, regarding motherboards, and this is like AMD and Intel, I don't know if any of these are really selling nowadays. And I only say that because it's like you see so many like the Z family for Intel, like the 600, 700. Then you have your X570, X670, B550, B650. It's like, are these really selling? I don't really think so. And I mean, it comes down to what's exactly going on. What's the real story? And regarding the AIO coolers, if you're trying to get anything like NZXT, the only thing you're going to be getting at Micro Center for the time being right now in Chicago, and I have to zoom in, make sure I give out the correct one the first time, and that is the Z63. Either RGB or not, but again, when it comes to the AIO coolers by NZXT, the only ones you're probably going to be getting at this moment in time, for a while at least, is the Z63, which is a 280 millimeter cooler. Now, I do want to mention here with the Corsair family AIO coolers. Now, again, this picture was for Friday. I went back there today for the AC power cord. There's actually more Corsair AIO coolers than you see here in the picture. So they are more, and you don't have to worry about that as much. So this one here, like I said, you want to take it with a grain of salt. Now, I will add here, and I will reiterate this at least once more in this video, is that when it comes to things going back in stock, and I overheard this from somebody who works at the Micro Center in Chicago, your best bets for to get here for a restock on certain things are either Thursday or Saturday, because that way you get a better chance of landing what you want. Now, regarding GPUs, with this one, I know there's a few more of the 4090s available at the time of filming this, although that could change any day. So the 4090, this is the video, you see there's a few more now than when I took this picture. Then when it comes to AMD, they have some of the super low-end AMD GPUs out of the case, people could grab them, which isn't a bad idea. And then I do want to point out here, and you may not see the entire picture completely, but there are some additional PC cases over here. Lee, Corsair, NZXT, those three. And then with the some of the other GPUs, it's like 4070 Ti, 4080, you got 30 series, the 16 series, I think you got GT 710 and GT 730. So, and then you do have a relative, surprisingly small amount of open box. And I'll get to that in a little bit. So here, and then here with the RAM, it's a pretty solid supply right now. Now, this is pretty much what I saw both today and Friday at Micro Center. It's like the open box stuff. And there's honestly not much, really here. Because it's either people are getting really happy with their purchases, or people are not really returning things as, from the last time I saw it. Because the last time I saw the open box section, there was quite a bit. And it looks like the open box section now, as you guys see it, it's like, either people are buying the open box a little bit more, or they're not returning things as often as they used to. It's just a bit of a wait and see, in my personal opinion. Now, regarding the storage here, and I went into certain sections, it looks like it's a solid, supply of storage all around. I will mention here with the CPUs, it's like, it is a pretty solid amount for the AMD side. I mean, Intel might be selling a little bit better, but it remains to be seen, in my personal opinion. Because again, it's like, you have so many motherboards available, but they're not really moving. And you can say the same thing for Lian Li PC cases. Especially members of the O11 Dynamic, the O11 family, whether it be O11 Air or O11 Dynamic. You got Corsair, that they just got a pretty decent restock. Same thing with NZXT, although in recent visits prior to this video, NZXT is selling. So it's a bit of a wait and see case. I mean, hopefully, when it comes to around this time in April, I get a more accurate picture of what's going on. So it looks like some things may not be selling as well as people think they were. Now, I do want to add here that I'm going to check the time real quick, because I'm trying to make this under 20 minutes, so I could go after some of the photos after this. James 2 Cents in a recent video mentioned that Micro Center is expanding. I think he may have mentioned that the Indianapolis area, that's in Indiana, which is just east of Illinois. It looks like they're gaining a Micro Center in the Indianapolis area pretty soon. It's just a matter of if that's really the case, when we're going to see an opening for that location. Because if and when that does happen, that means certain aspects of computer components and sense of availability will improve. Now, Micro Center, I will say this, it took them long enough to get a new location to open. Especially if it is Indianapolis, Indiana area. And the reason why this site, maybe it took them long enough, but sometimes you have to be really patient in the overall sense. So I'm glad that, if it is actually true that the Indianapolis area is going to get their own Micro Center, it means that varying peoples have a better shot at getting what they want from another Micro Center, meaning that the Chicago, and I know there's one other location in Illinois, I want to say it's Westmont, but it looks like the two Illinois locations have a bit of a better shot, whereas they're the people who live close to the two Illinois locations can get their hands on these computer components. But it's a matter of is this whole thing really true with the Indianapolis area Micro Center? And if it is true, when we're going to see it open up. So, and this is the Western Digital section. I know they have something like this for Samsung, and I know Samsung is in two different spots instead of their storage. Now, for this is the laptop that I wound up getting, and I'm going to show it right here. I actually got it out of the box. This is the Asus right here, and this is the E410M8 laptop, and like I said, I bought a wireless mouse to go with it. I'm going to be using this, to hopefully help me start a business. And the reason why I went with a super affordable laptop, because when it comes down to starting a business, you don't want to go outside your means too much. You want to try to go inside your means. If it's not to save some money, it's more making sure your financial situation is under control. Now, this one's a pretty solid one. I already have a 500 gigabyte NVMe SSD, and the one that the NVMe SSD that I do have in the laptop came with its own M.2 screw, so that way I don't have to worry about going to my screw kit, hopefully finding one that way. So, and then this right here, I'm going to show you guys really quickly. Right here, that is the whole thing with the for the mouse, so that way I could just browse on my browse the web on my own. Now, a couple of things I do need to get for the laptop before I can really use it to help hopefully start a business. One of them is to get a Microsoft Office program going. Now, I'm not going to be doing the Microsoft Office 365 because it's not so much the price. It's about 70 United States dollars per year. That's 70, and I mentioned that part on purpose for the sake of the fact that 70 sometimes sounds like 17. So it's 70. Now, besides holding with a Microsoft Office program, another reason why I won't get the 365 version is because I'm going to be using an external storage drive for varying files, and it's just I'm really just wasting my time if I were to use the 1 terabyte cloud storage, and I don't think things that I want to hold on to for myself on the cloud. That's just my personal opinion. Now, so for me, it's just it's 100% Wi-Fi, so it's it is what it is. So on that little note, like I said, I do have my laptop in a more readily state in the sense of I can get my business going if I really wanted to. But besides the whole thing with the Microsoft Office and an external storage drive, it's more the latter. I need to research on that as much as possible. Now, with that, I'm going to wrap up this video, but like I said, to reiterate, there are a lot of Lian Li cases in Chicago. If anybody wants to grab a Lian Li case and they're watching this video, you might as well go contact somebody who lives in Chicago, that could get to the Micro Center to grab one. Because that's, in my personal opinion, that's the only way the Lian Li cases are going to move. And, on that note, when it comes to the April visit to Micro Center, I think it's going to be around this time. In the sense of when in April, it may be later than that. So, and that's mainly because I'm going to be at the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, which is the beginning of April. And I just want to make sure I free up not only my storage as much as I can, but I have as much rest and I'm as ready to go as possible in that regard. So I'm done with this video with Wolvie here signing off. I will catch you all on the flip side.